Hi everybody, this is Jim Bridges
and Paul Harvey,
and we're here downtown Docklands in Melbourne at the Australian Cartoon Museum, and we're doing one of our famous book bites, and we're doing a whole series of Paul Harvey's books called Half Times, and here we are.
So these are the AFL kids books. I did them in 2005 with Michael Sedunary, who was the author. And he was the author. I illustrated his words, and this is Melbourne.
And he always,
Dies demon, do or die.
And there's always a kid or a parent who are a fan of the team.
Yep.
And they're always incorporated in the story. So who's this particular
Yes,
person?
no idea.
Who's died?
This one I got no idea.
Oh, because you tend to draw your relatives or friends or people who people you know barrack for, in this case, demons.
Yes, but 16 years ago, I've got no idea who she is. But it might come to me as we go through the book. But there's the great Neil Danaher, who was coaching the D's at the time.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't recognise anybody else there, but that's...
well, there's Nita.
Is that Robbie Flower? No.
No.
But you've got Robbie Flower somewhere.
I will have him in there.
And you'll have Barassi in here somewhere.
I will.
Yeah, good on you.
So that's John. Do you remember we did that Kicking Behinds book?
That's
John Ross.
That's John Ross.
So he
barracks for Melbourne, doesn't he?
He was a dude.
Oh, and you got the record. I'm glad you did that.
Did the footy record, yeah.
Yeah, and there's
and there's the mascot.
Yeah, and you've had some cartoons put in the footy record, haven't you?
Yeah, over the years.
You'd be proud of that because all the best footballer caricaturists worked there.
Really?
Yeah, and who were these?
Don't know.
That's a Salvo, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Silver.
Yeah, okay.
So, they were very popular books back in 2005.
Geez, and
really,
right back.
And the kids still borrow them. They're apparently the most borrowed book at school libraries.
Yes, they are. And they have to cover them because they get wrecked really quickly.
Yeah, they get. This is an example of one of the wrecked ones. Although
they're not that wrecked.
This one's not so bad. Well, maybe
I wonder why.
Borrowed the D's.
I wonder why.
What are you suggesting? Anybody watching this at Barracks of the D's will not be happy with you saying
No. But it's just funny because we did a lot of work when we set up the Cartoon Museum. We had all this football stuff on the wall, and we worked it all out. We had to do this and we've got to represent everybody, and of course we forgot Melbourne.
Yeah, we did, but we've remedied that since because they've had some great players. This was funny. The banner was they made the banner too strong,
and they couldn't run through it. That's
very
bad publicity.
Yeah,
it's very bad publicity. Is that the only time that's happened? So that'd be legendary, that story.
Well, it never happened. It's in the book. Don't believe everything you read, Jimmy.
I'm disappointed.
Okay, so there's the great David Neitz, who was the Melbourne goal kicker.
Yeah, he's only got one leg.
He's kicking. See, there's the other leg up here.
Okay, yeah. And who's that?
Adam Uze. So they used to yell out "ooze" when he'd go near the ball.
Okay. Is that a Greek swear word?
My footy team, the mighty Marsland Bald Eagles, Ooze came down and had a game once, and he kicked a goal from the pocket that you would have to see to believe. He was an amazing.
I didn't see it.
No, well, you didn't, but I saw it.
But I believe it.
And there you go. There's Robbie Flower, as you said before, taking mark over Jezza.
And who can do that? So that's a famous mark, is it?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is
that's his book, Robbie.
And there's the demon.
Yep.
Even the demons sleep. How about that?
They're dreaming about Robbie.
Yeah.
He was I met Robbie. He was a fantastic bloke. Yeah. Russell Robinson. He was a big marker for. Probably Sean Smith was probably one of the greatest AFL markers ever, and that's up for debate. But he took probably the greatest mark at the Gabba, I believe.
Well, I mean, this
one of the highest marks I've ever seen.
Jezelenko had that went with it.
Oh, this is a better mark, and he took it over Gary Lyon. He jumped right up onto Gary Lyon's head.
Yeah. And look, I love the little.
Well, that's based on. Okay, so when that was photographed, that great mark, there was a lady in the crowd,
who took a photograph.
and as he took it, the flash went fresh.
And it's got a religious significance now.
So
that's a great picture.
yeah, so Nathan Brown, one of the
It looks like someone's used
millions
his head.
of guys named Nathan Brown that played AFL footy.
Someone looks like they've used his head as a footballer.
It does.
A little bit
This
of
was,
Picasso in that picture, isn't there?
Aaron Davey was one of the great rundown tacklers.
The
in footy
Flash.
history, the Flash.
And that's because he's so fast.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
Jeff White,
That's great.
the ruckman, and the great Jimmy Steins.
He's not with us anymore.
No, the great statue of him at the G.
Irish.
Yes, he was Brassey's Irish experiment, Jim Steins, and won the Brownlow.
Yeah, that's right.
First Irishman to win the
Oh,
Brownlow.
there's our friend again.
Mm.
So Barassi, he also organised the Irish footballers going to come to Australia, didn't he?
He did. So this is Jack and my nephew Luke and his best mate Jack and Neil Danaher there getting his sausage from John Ross and
Hang on,
this is
what's
great
Neil-
Travis Johnson, who was the grandson of Norm Johnson, who played at Fitzroy.
But didn't he play for Essendon?
He did, but he coached Melbourne.
Oh, okay, coached him. Yeah.
And so that's the.
they're
she's in the
doing
cheer squad, so she's
okay.
doing the run through.
Or do or die.
Do or die demon desperation.
There's a lot of D's in that, isn't there?
Lots of D's.
Yeah.
Okay. So and there's a lot of Melbourne and Hawks in this one because they were rivals.
Great head.
Rivals.
Are these actual people?
Sometimes they were loosely based on players, but sometimes they were just good heads to draw.
Yeah.
I mean that looks a bit like
Like him.
don't know,
Yeah, like him. Yeah.
don't even know. But they were all sort of based around players at the time.
That's Danaher.
Yeah, Neil's getting a bit angry,
With a few freckles.
going a bit red in the face.
Yeah, but-
Do or die, he says.
Now, who's this? Has he got ears like that, really?
I think it's Tingay. I think
God,
it's
it looks
Stinger.
like Prince Charles. With
Probably
his
doesn't have ears like that. You know, there's a little bit of artistic license.
Yeah.
And that's at the G. And these are all great demons' names
happened
in
to
the,
this
in the
guy?
background. He's getting smashed.
He looked like he's after the fact.
Cameron Bruce, Simon Godfrey, Jared Rivers, and Brad Miller.
Smith. Oh, look, you got Brassey next.
Brassey,
and
Dixon, yeah, Phoebe, Lonnie. And here's some of the greats of
There he is.
Melbourne.
There's Brassey.
Yep. There's Jim, Gary Lyon, Robbie Flower.
Who's that?
That might be
a long time ago. He's got a bow tie on.
There's Ditchridge and
Did he
Ivor
play for
Warren
Melbourne?
Smith. This
Did he-
is
Did he play for Melbourne?
that's Fred Flanagan, who kicked 18 goals in a match. And this is the is it Truscott that was killed in the war? His plane went into. I remember Week telling me he was in New Guinea at the time when his plane flew into the.
There's
The sunlight was on the water, and he
Yep.
just got too low and good Nick.
disorientated him. There's a great cartoon where they were
Schwartz.
playing the grand final or something, or some of the finals, and it's a Sabbath, so he couldn't watch it.
Yes,
so
he
he
couldn't
turned the TV set around, and he's looking at the back of the TV set. It was a great cartoon by Mark Knight.
Fantastic. And then at the back we had the songs. We'd
It's a
play all the
grand old
songs.
flag.
Yeah, everybody knows that song.
Flag.
And the mascot singing and belting it out. So the kids would get to know the words of the song by reading the book.
Yeah, I like all this red. You know, it's good. Yeah, that's really good.
You're much more enthused with the Bombers book. Come on.
Well,
Liven it up.
well,
Pump it up.
I know nothing about demons except I did follow them when I was a little kid when Dixon was playing and Barassi and
Brian Dixon.
Hassaman.
Yeah, has a man. Fantastic.
Yeah, I actually met Hassaman years later.
Yep.
I was sitting in a waiting room with him.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I remember loving Barassi because Barassi, I call him. I mean, he's called Mrs. Football after
Ted Whitten,
who
was
Mr.
Football. Yeah,
But I think
Teddy called him Mrs.
Yeah, but I think Barassi personally has done more for football than any other player.
Yeah, well, I would argue now that probably Sheeds has done more
Yeah,
than both.
I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you. But I mean, the point is, he did
Uncle
TV.
Football?
He did TV shows for kids. He had books on how to kick and all that sort of stuff.
Grandpa Football.
And he brought in the handball. Don't forget that. He made the game faster.
Well, yes and no. I don't necessarily do it. What, one game?
What would you know about football?
One game. So this is Jim Bridges, who knows nothing about football, and Paul Harvey.
And we'll see you around like a record. a football record. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.